समाचार कक्ष में मैं मुफीद जिलानी आपका स्वागत करता हूं। आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया में भारतीय प्रवासियों को राहुल गांधी ने संबोधित करते हुए क्या बात रखी। आज राहुल गांधी अमेरिका की यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया में भारतीय प्रवासियों को संबोधित कर रहे थे। उनका अमेरिका का ये 6 दिवसीय दौरे की आज शुरुआत थी। राहुल गांधी सुबह 8 बजे अमेरिका पहुंचे और उसके बाद उन्होंने इस पहले कार्यक्रम में हिस्सा लिया। उन्होंने इस अवसर पर कई मुद्दों पर अपने विचार रखे और भारतीय प्रवासियों के विभिन्न समूहों के सवालों के जवाब भी दिए। इस अवसर पर उन्होंने एक तरह से 2024 लोकसभा चुनाव का एजेंडा भी सेट करने की कोशिश की। उन्होंने कहा कि असली मुद्दे महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, नफरत और डाइवर्सिटी का है। यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया में उन्होंने किन किन मुद्दों पर बात की, आप आगे इस वीडियो में देख सकते हैं।
That the normal tools that we used to use for politics, conversations like this, public meetings, were simply not working anymore. All the instruments that we needed to do politics in India, they were controlled by the BJP and the RSS. You know, people are threatened, cases are put on people, agencies are used on people. So we also are finding that in some way it had become quite difficult to act politically. And that's why we decided to walk from southernmost tip of India to Srinagar. The tradition in India, and again something leaders like Guru Nanak ji, Basavana ji, Gandhi ji emphasized, was not to be under the impression that you know everything. That the world is too big, too complicated for any one person to think that he understands everything and he knows everything. And so really that is the disease that Sam sort of outlined. That is the disease, that we have a group of people in India who are absolutely convinced that they know everything. In fact, I think they think maybe they know even more than God. They could sit down with God and have a conversation and explain to him, about what is going on. And of course, our Prime Minister is one such specimen. I think if you sat Modi ji down next to God, Modi ji would start explaining to God how the universe works. Right? Yes, and God would get confused that what have I created? So these are funny things, but really this is what is going on. We have a group of people, who understand everything. They can speak to scientists and explain science to them. They can, speak to historians and explain history to them. They can explain, warfare to the army, flying to the Air Force, whatever they want they can, And at the heart of it is mediocrity. That they actually don't understand anything. So on the Women's Reservation Bill, we are committed to that. We wanted to pass it in the last government, but some of our allies were not too happy with it, and they didn't give us the support for that bill. But I'm confident when we come to power, we'll pass that bill. I think part of the answer to your second question lies in the first question. If we empower women, if we involve women in the political system, if we give women space in the governance of the country, if we give women space in the businesses of the country, we will automatically make them safer. So I think involving them in politics, involving them in business, involving them in running the country are the way to give them power. Thank you.
Thank
If you read our constitution, the definition of India in the constitution is a union of states. And within our constitution is the idea that the languages, cultures, histories of each one of our states has to be protected under the union. So what you're talking about is already incorporated in our constitution. It's already there. The BJP and the RSS are attacking that idea that you mentioned and also the Constitution of India. That's the fact. Now, for me personally, I understand that the Tamil language is more than a language to Tamil people. Right? It is not just a language. It is their history. It is their culture. It is their way of life. And I will never ever allow Tamil language to be threatened. Right? Because for me, threatening the Tamil language is to threaten the idea of India. Just like threatening Bengali or threatening Kannada or threatening Hindi or threatening Punjabi are all attacks on India. Right? So, our strength, unlike many other countries, our strength comes from our diversity. Our strength comes from accepting that we are all different, but we can work together. And that is an idea that I'm sure you and the Congress party are protecting. Thank you. One of the things that we are suggesting is when we were in government, we had carried out a caste census. And the idea behind the caste census was to take an X-ray of Indian society, right? To find out what are the exact demographics of our country, right? What are the different communities? What are the different castes? How many people in each community? How many people in each caste? Because without understanding our demographics and without understanding who is who, it is very difficult to distribute wealth, distribute power effectively. So that was one idea that we had. And we've been putting pressure on the BJP to release the caste census, the numbers in the caste census. They are, of course, not doing it. And we'll continue to apply pressure. And if we come to power, we will do that. But we are committed, as the Congress party, to make India a fair place. And we understand deeply that India today, in terms of its treatment of Dalits, tribals, poor people, minorities, is not a fair place. Right? And there's many things that can be done. There is the Nyay scheme that we had, which was aimed at providing a minimum income to all Indians. There are ideas like Manrega. I think an increase in public education, increase in public health care. I think these are all things that can be done to make India a much more equal and fair place.
As you know that, Muslims have the security threat today. It was never before. The way we see today, like whenever we call and talk to anybody, it's like, kya ho raha hai yahan pe? What's going on? There are so many different laws which are getting implemented, which were not even implemented earlier. If it is just of the security, it's okay. But then if it goes on and on, like lynching, aap le lijiye. Musliman bachon ko jo hai, they are putting in the jails for the crimes which they have not committed, what strategy will you adopt, or what hope are you giving to Indian Muslims, which is going to change the whole thing back to the point where we were and get back to the normal stream to develop India?
The best way for me to explain that is the line, Nafrat ke bazaar mein mohabbat ki dukaan. That is the best way I can say it, which is that it is felt most strongly by the Muslim community, okay, because it is done most directly to them. But in fact, it is being done to all minorities. I can guarantee you that the same way you are feeling attacked, I can guarantee you my Sikh brothers are feeling the same thing. I can guarantee you my Christian brothers are feeling the same, sisters are feeling the same thing, right? I can guarantee you the Dalit community is feeling the same thing, tribal community is feeling the same thing, right? In fact, anybody who is poor in India today, right, when he looks at the extreme wealth that a limited number of people have, in some way he feels the same thing that you feel. That what is going on? How is it that these 5 people have lakhs of crores and I have nothing to eat, right? So you feel it most because it is directed at you most aggressively. But it is a phenomena that is taking place against everybody in India, right? And you cannot cut hatred with hatred. It's impossible, right? You know that. You can only cut hatred with love and affection. And I was surprised at how easy it was to erase hatred in India. I was shocked. I didn't imagine that भाई इधर से उधर चलने से इतना असर पड़ेगा. I didn't imagine it. Right? Indian people, as you yourself have said, they don't believe in this stuff. They don't believe in hating each other. They don't believe in killing each other. This is a small group of people who have got control of the system, who've got control of the media, and who are fully supported by, big money. Right? But this is not the large mass of Indian people. I can guarantee you, I walked from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. I can guarantee you there are more people who believe in love and affection than hatred. Millions and millions more. So don't be pessimistic. Also, I'd like to point out another thing. This happens periodically in India. What is happening, for example, to the Muslim community in India today happened to the Dalit community in the 80s. If you went to UP in the 80s, the Dalit community, what is happening with the Muslims was happening with the Dalits there. So periodically this type of stuff happens and we have to challenge it, we have to fight it, and we have to fight it with affection, not fight it with hatred. We will do that.
मैं मुफीद जिलानी अब आपसे इजाज़त चाहता हूँ इस अपील के साथ कि हमारे इस चैनल समाचार कट को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सब्सक्राइब करें, इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और अपने बहुमूल्य सुझाव और विचार हमें कमेंट बॉक्स पर भेजें ताकि आपके बहुमूल्य विचारों को और सुझावों को अगले वीडियो में शामिल कर सकें। शुक्रिया।